Oh, hey, didn't see you there. I'm just kidding. Once again, welcome back to the Jayco Show. You now reached episode 4. And before I get into the night's content, again, I just want to say thank you to my audience. Thank you to the subscribers for tuning in just to see what this little experiment becomes of. And also to say, once again, as in the previous episode, when it comes to the comments should be about the content, okay? The comments are not a platform for asking questions about me personally. It should be reserved specifically for the comments, and I hope that if there's comments on this video that it is in fact about the content. If there's anything that's asking me something that I feel is invasive or too private, the comments will be turned off again. So, in tonight's episode, as you see in the background, you will see a Dallas Cowboys jersey. This tonight's show is going to be about being a plea of sorts to my team. My team, the Dallas Cowboys, are not doing very well. They have not done very well for a very, very long time. And as a sports fan, and I know a lot of people don't like the Cowboys, and maybe you have your own team, and that's fine. But maybe your team isn't doing so well, and I'm just begging that maybe this content can be heard by the Cowboys, or, as I said before, maybe your team's struggling, and maybe you can extend some of these ideas to your team to maybe break them out of the slump of not winning or having poor seasons. Now, I listen to a lot of sports talk radio, so they already have a number of different suggestions. Some of them say related to coaching, strategy, game planning, whatever that may be. Okay, but a lot of that time kind of falls on deaf ears. And some people maybe saying to you, well, what qualifies you to offer this advice? You're not an athlete. You were in the theater for a long time. Well, here are my qualifications, as it were. I did play when I was in school. I wasn't very good, but I think being a part of the game kind of maybe gives me a bit of a qualifier. And second, I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan of the game, and I want to, if my team is competing, I want them to at least have a fighting chance to at least be impressive. You can't win them all. I get that. But the very least that you could do is give yourself every single best effort to give yourself a chance to at least be in the game. All right. So here's some suggestions that this theater person has for the Cowboys. And again, if your team is going through a bit of a struggle, maybe you can pass some of these suggestions on to them. All right. First one, I've got some notes here that I'm taking it. First one is stick with traditions. And what that's kind of saying is, Cowboys, please stop wearing your blue jerseys at home. Okay? Your tradition is that you wear your white jerseys at home. Why would you go against that? That just seems insane to me. Being in the theater, I do have a number of traditions that I upheld, and some we call them superstitions. I don't mess with the tradition. Okay? It doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I saw this video, and it was related to the Cowboys and whatnot. And traditionally speaking, in the NFL, the home team wears their color jerseys. So, like, for example, the blue if they're the Cowboys, or black if they're the Steelers, or red if you're the Cardinals, whatever. But in this video that I saw, which is kind of like reading but different, the ownership decided, or the management decided, that the Cowboys were going to go against that tradition and wear the white jerseys at home so that their fans could see the colors of the opposing team. And the tradition stuck. So that's part of the reason why they went with this. Also, in the 70s, the real Cowboy fans know this, that the blue jerseys were known as the bad luck blue. Why on earth would you bring that kind of mojo, that kind of ugh, into your game? They're bad luck. Don't wear them. Now, I get that you do have to wear the blue jersey occasionally because there's some teams that like to kind of throw a monkey wrench in it and they say, oh, you wear white at home? Well, we're going to wear white at home this time. I've seen the Eagles do this. I've seen the Giants do this and the Redskins. And I think Cleveland does this. A number of different teams will just kind of do that little tweak. I know the Rams have done this, the Chargers. So I get that you have to wear them. But stay with your tradition. Wear your white jerseys at home. All right? Please, 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 please stop wearing blue at home. Now, I like the blue jersey. I love the blue jersey, but it goes against tradition. Stay with your traditions. It's who you are. Okay. Next suggestion. And I've seen teams do this in other sports. Here's an idea. Why not get all the best players together on one team so that you can dominate and win all your games in the championship eventually? Get the best players. Get them all together. They do it in other sports. Yeah, they do that in other sports. In fact, I can think of two. In recent years, the Golden State Warriors and the Miami Heat in the NBA. Now, those are two separate teams, but that's one example. They got all of the best players together, and nobody could touch them. Nobody. Now, occasionally, again, since you can't win them all, they maybe didn't cross the finish line like they had hoped for, but they were incredible teams. They won their games. They advanced in the playoffs. They advanced to the point of being on the brink of a championship. Get the best players. That's one example. Another example is, a group called the Magnificent Seven. Now, the Magnificent Seven, for some of you may not know, it's made up of these 7 athletes: Shannon Miller, Dominique Montciano, Dominique Dawes, Carrie Strug, Amanda Borden, J.C. Phelps, and Amy Chow. And some of you are saying, who on earth is that? Well, they're the Magnificent Seven. And the Magnificent Seven were the women's gymnastics team in the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. Okay? They were the best. And guess what? They won the gold medal. And so it seems relatively simple it's just a suggestion. And I know, again, the New York Yankees have done this all the time. And they've, won over 20, I think it's like 27, 28 World Series. It's something ridiculous. Try to get all the best players together. That's what we did when we were in school, when we were lining up for teams. We were picking teams for like dodgeball or Red Rover or whatever. You wanted to get the best team together. Go get the best players. It's just a suggestion. The next suggestion number 3, is I would never condone cheating, but I would definitely suggest that a lot of teams, and they kind of flirt with the validity of the rules. They don't necessarily maybe break the rules, but they definitely bend them. And then some teams just flat out break the rules. And those teams have been caught cheating, but with no real consequence. Now, when I say no real consequence, in the NFL and in the major leagues, if you've been caught cheating, the consequences are fines, suspensions, this, that, and the other. But here's the thing. They don't strip you of your championship. So if you won your championship, you get to keep it. Even though if you won it under shady conditions, even though you know that it's been proven that you were cheating, they don't take the championship away from you. And the Patriots have been cheating for years. Now, some of you are my Patriots fans, and that's neither here nor there. I don't like the Patriots. I've never liked the Patriots since they got on their run. There's been evidence that's been culminated throughout the years of, like them filming other teams, doing different, just kind of little shady, little tricky things within the context of the game, and they've never had a championship stripped. Never, never. And it's if I really think if if teams started getting their championships taken from them, that a lot of this would stop. But in the meantime, yeah, go ahead, film away. I mean, as part of your game plan, why not watch them play another team and see what they're good at? Just a suggestion. And some people say, well, can you like send players to or other members of the team to go watch these players play? Yeah, I've seen it done all the time. When I used to work in a press box, coaches from other teams that we were going to play the next week were they were in the press box and they were spying on us. Yeah, they're spying. What's that? What's up with that? I mean, that's crazy. So yeah, bend the rules. Go watch their games. I mean, even if you can't send a guy to watch them play, turn on the NFL Network. Turn on YouTube. I mean, you'll always have replays of the games. Watch them. See what they do. See what their tendencies are. See what they like. And lastly, is just some kind of in-game suggestions, maybe kind of related to strategy, as it were. Just a few things. If they have a hard time defending the pass, throw the ball. Yeah. And throw it way down the field, man. You get a lot of yards in this. Take advantage. If they can't defend the run the ball. It's common sense. I'm not a coach, and I think even the normal layman can say, if they can't stop the run the ball. If they can't stop the pass, stop the pass. And this is another thing. In terms of getting caught up in stats and numbers, yes, you want a lot of yards. Yes, you want a lot of, minutes in the game and whatnot. But here's something else. If the other team scores 21 points, score 22. Yeah, that's the difference maker. Score more points. Don't give up as many points. Now, these are just a few suggestions. I hope that the Cowboys will hear this plea and maybe take some of these suggestions to heart. And maybe we can stop being mediocre and begin winning Super Bowls again. Once again, thanks again for tuning in. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. And I'll see you next time. Good night.